A woman stands on a street with her bags packed and a car waiting. She's leaving. The man she loves is in front of her, blocking her path, breathless, saying the words she once needed to hear. But she's heard promises before. She's been hurt before. And now there's more at stake than just the two of them. But how did they get to this moment? Standing on a street with so much history, so much damage, and a baby between them. To understand that, we need to go back to the beginning. Noa Moran is on a plane to Spain. She spills coffee on a stranger at the airport. A polished, charming man named Simon, who takes it entirely in stride, joking about his coffee-colored pants. They exchange names. He offers her a cab. She declines. He asks for her number. She smiles but says nothing, then leaves him with a playful deal. If they meet again, she owes him a coffee. Noa is heading to Ibiza for the wedding of her best friend Jenna, who is marrying Lion, Noa's childhood friend and practically a brother to her. It's a joyful, chaotic gathering full of cousins, dress fittings, rehearsal dinners, and more family drama than anyone prepared for. At the wedding, Noa plays her role: bridesmaid, organizer, emotional anchor for everyone else. And then she sees him, Nicholas Leister, wealthy, guarded, and the last person she expected to see. He's Lion's brother. He and Noa have a painful history. They catch each other's eyes across the reception. The tension is immediate. Whatever is between them never fully closed. A song plays. Nick watches Noa from across the floor. She watches him back. That night, something shifts. They find themselves alone. He mentions a grave, a message she left him once. "I will always be your light in the darkness." He tells her he still sees it, in her eyes. She pulls away, but she doesn't leave. One night at Jenna's wedding leads to consequences neither of them expected. Back in Madrid, Noa picks up her life. She collects her degree. She takes a delivery job. She lands a position as a systems assistant at a small tech startup called LRB. Scrappy, fast-moving, the kind of place where the toner is always running out and everyone bets on who makes the coffee. She's good at the job. Better than good. When the boss asks her to rework a failing investor pitch, she restructures it completely. It works. The investors are impressed. One of those investors, arriving unannounced at 8 a.m., turns out to be Nick. He's just bought shares in LRB. Noa is part of the package. Their reunion is tense from the first word. Nick is cold and transactional. Noa is sharp and refuses to be minimized. Meanwhile, Nick is managing a crisis at the Leister Group, his family's sprawling corporate empire. A subsidiary has closed without warning, leaving hundreds of workers jobless. Protesters crowd outside Leister buildings. The press calls him a shark. His father, William, is running for election and needs a scandal-free son. To manage optics, Nick enters into a fake public relationship with Sophia, a sharp, politically useful companion. They appear together at galas. The tabloids run headlines. The Golden Bachelor settles down. Noa sees the coverage. She says nothing. But working alongside Nick every day makes silence difficult. He reviews her strategy documents. She corrects his pitch. Small confrontations turn into longer conversations. Moments of professional friction tip into something else. During one tense exchange in his office, Nick notices the tattoo on her wrist. The same phrase, still there. She notices his collection of matching ink. He tells her she can't stop him from seeing who she is. She tells him to learn to accept what he can't change. Back at the company, Simon, the man from the plane, reappears. He works at LRB. He and Noa begin spending time together. A dinner, a late walk. He's warm, attentive, easy to be with. She tells Jenna she's thinking about going slower with him. He admits the same. Nick notices. He makes his jealousy visible just enough to be undeniable, then denies it. Noa's routine is quietly interrupted by something she can't ignore. A doctor examines her, asks routine questions, and then pauses. When were her last blood tests? Has she been taking iron? Has anyone checked her for toxoplasmosis? Noa stares blankly. Why would she need that? Because, the doctor tells her carefully, toxoplasmosis screenings are standard in pregnancy. Noa goes still. She's 16 weeks along. She didn't know. Jenna is the first person Noa tells. Jenna reacts with a chaos of emotion, equal parts stunned, excited, and immediately practical. She declares Noa is moving in. She tells her she's going to be an aunt. She also tells her firmly that Noa has to tell the father. Noa refuses. She knows who the father is. The timing matches the wedding. But Nick has Sophia. Nick has a public image to protect. Nick has a family empire on the edge of scandal. A pregnancy, especially this pregnancy, would destroy everything. She resigns from LRB instead. She goes to Nick's office and sets her letter of resignation on his desk. He asks why. She tells him the truth. If she has to choose, she'd rather lose the job. What she doesn't tell him is the rest. Nick is furious. He stands close. He looks at her the same way he always has. The eyes, the hair, the tattoo, everything exactly the same as the girl he once knew. She holds her ground. She tells him to let her go. She walks out. Meanwhile, a woman named Briar appears at a family gathering. She's Maggie's mother, a little girl who turns out to be Nick's half-sister, the result of his father William's past. Briar is ill. She has leukemia. She's been struggling for 4 years. She's come to formally transfer custody of Maggie to the Leicester family, to William, and by extension, to Nick. Nick is blindsided. He resists, but Briar doesn't have time for his resistance. The paperwork is already signed. She's going in for surgery. Maggie comes to stay. Back at the funeral of Nick's mother, a quiet, difficult gathering at the Leicester estate, Noah is present with Jenna and Lion. Nick's mother had been sick. Her death forces everyone to stand in the same room with their grief and their unfinished business. An old acquaintance, Michael, Noah's former university counselor, tells Nick quietly that he knows about Noah's pregnancy. He suggests Nick will find out eventually. Michael has access to her medical records. She knows she can't hide the pregnancy much longer. Leaving feels like the only option that protects everyone. Nick, his family, his election campaign, his image. She loads her bags into a car. Nick appears at the curb. He tells her all paths lead back to her. She tells him that's a nice phrase, but just a phrase. She's done with phrases. He asks her to stop. She lifts her shirt instead. Nick sees the pregnancy for the first time. He goes silent. He says he doesn't care, and then immediately says he does care. He just wasn't expecting it. He asks her not to leave. He tells her he loves her. He tells her he forgives her. He says he doesn't care about anything else, and he means it. She watches him. He's not performing. He's not managing optics. He's just standing on the street with the whole truth on his face. She stays. Weeks later, Briar breaks into their home during a storm. She takes the baby. She's unstable. Years of illness, grief, and losing her son have pushed her to this. She's desperate and dangerous, but not beyond reach. Noah speaks to her calmly. Nick reaches her. Briar surrenders the child. She lets herself be helped. The threat passes. The baby is safe. Time moves forward. Nick and Noah are together, properly, openly. Nick also ends things with Sophia. She lets him go without anger. Nick and Noah get married. After the ceremony, Lion jokes about the waterfall. Nick laughs. They drive away together, Noah at the wheel. The final words appear on screen. Everything that happens from now on will be your fault.